Good morning and welcome to the 10 a.m. daily weather brief. To start us off, we'll take a look at our upper level wind profile from this morning's balloon launch, where we had a freezing level of 14,600 feet and winds towards the bottom of the column were coming out of a more southerly direction and began to veer to a more west-southwesterly direction before they ultimately settled out of the more northwesterly direction aloft with an observed maximum of 27 knots at 25,000 feet. And as for winds throughout much of the column, they do remain light and in the single digits all the way up to about 16,000 feet, where they do increase slightly into the mid-teens. Now, pulling up our most recent surface analysis chart here for today, high pressure does continue to sit over the region and slowly shift southward, providing us with some warm and humid conditions similar to the previous day or two. And out west, we can see that there is a weak cold front that is extending from the Great Lakes to the Mississippi River Valley, and that is continuing to push our way and likely will reach us sometime tomorrow afternoon into the evening and bring a slightly elevated chance of seeing some scattered convective activity along with its passage. And aloft, there is also a weakening upper level ridge that has continued to weaken over the last little bit, and in the southwestern portion of the state there's a short wave that's moving east northeast and may pass through the region later this afternoon in close enough proximity to drum up some light scattered activity later this afternoon. Behind that passage of the frontal boundary tomorrow afternoon evening time frame, we can see some northeast flow, and that should develop and hopefully reduce our overall storm coverage and likelihoods, despite it still remaining warm and humid. And then Saturday, things do turn a corner a little bit, and that humidity will drop. And then looking further ahead, we'll see that upper level ridging start to rebuild back in on Sunday, with mostly dry weather continuing into Monday as the flow shifts from easterly to southerly. And as for the tropical cyclone that is offshore, that is forecast to track well offshore of our area with only light impacts possible, and that will sit just outside of our 7-day forecast for now. But as of right now, impacts not looking too probable. Now, moving to the 24-hour risk chart here, slight changes from this morning, increasing our precip probabilities for tomorrow morning and the overnight hours. As of right now, still seeing those broken conditions and moving through the day, slight chance of a pop-up shower or a thunderstorm this afternoon, and then cloud cover should decrease slightly before we get to the morning when those rain chances build back in, and so will clouds. And come early tomorrow morning, there will also be the chance of some low-level cloud cover. As for winds today, mostly southwesterly winds throughout much of the day in the 7 to 12 knot range, gusting up into the mid-teens, and they do die down as we reach those overnight hours and shift to a more westerly direction. Now, moving to the short-term risk chart, on Thursday we can anticipate partly to mostly cloudy conditions with a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm, and the same can be said for Thursday night, in which we will also see a low of 74 degrees. On Friday, things turn for the best, and mostly sunny conditions can be anticipated with a high of 83 and not much in the name of any weather-related risk. Moving to the 7-day forecast, today only light chances for precip, and then Thursday morning we see those precip chances increase, so we might see some showers and thunderstorms moving through, and then some lingering chances throughout the afternoon. And on Friday, much lower chances, around 15%, mostly sunny conditions, and then a nice partly cloudy swath to round off the next 7 days. The current day and into tomorrow will be the warmest of the upcoming bunch before temperatures drop into the low 80s and then kind of level out in the mid 80s as we come to the weekend. And that will conclude the 7-day outlook. I'll be back tomorrow at 8:15 with the daily weather operations brief.